It began quietly on a Monday. The fog slipped into town before dawn. Silent, heavy, almost alive. It pressed gently around homes, trees, and streetlights, erasing familiar shapes into vague silhouettes. By sunrise, the world seemed erased. When David opened the curtains, he saw nothing but white. He stepped onto the porch, feeling the air press against him. It felt wrong, too dense, too quiet. He clapped once, testing the sound. No echo. Silence swallowed it immediately. Behind him, the dogs whimpered softly, their tails tucked low. Maple, the gentle golden retriever, whined quietly. Gunner, always fearless, flattened his ears and refused to step outside. David retreated indoors. At breakfast, Melissa tried to joke, calling it just another weird weather day. Their 6-year-old son laughed, oblivious to the strain behind his parents' smiles. The fog wasn't a threat yet, just an inconvenience. But as the hours passed, their unease grew. The town remained unnervingly silent. No cars, no neighbors, no mail. Phones displayed no signal, radios hissed static, and the TV showed only a frozen emergency screen. By afternoon, their curiosity shifted to genuine worry. They loaded into their SUV, dogs scrambling anxiously into the back, and drove into town. The streets felt lifeless. Parked cars stood abandoned, keys still dangling from ignitions. Storefronts remained brightly lit, but utterly empty. They stopped at the grocery store, doors unlocked and welcoming, yet vacant. Inside, they called out cautiously. Only silence answered. David filled a cart quietly. Canned food, dog kibble, cereal, bottled water, snacks. Melissa gently placed a few $20 bills on the counter, anchoring them with a soup can. "Just in case," she whispered. "If someone comes back." Night fell quickly. The fog thickened, pressing against windows and doors like a living thing, curious and insistent. Maple paced restlessly near the front door, softly whining. Gunner growled low, staring at the corners of rooms, bristling at unseen threats. At exactly 2:13 a.m., Melissa awoke to a strange, distant groaning, metal dragged underwater, echoing softly. She crept quietly into the living room, peering out the window into the endless white. A shape stood silently at the edge of their porch, tall, angular, impossibly still. Melissa froze, her breath caught in her chest. The figure didn't move. It didn't sway or breathe, it simply stood, facing their front door. 5 agonizing minutes passed before it slowly tilted its head, turning its gaze directly toward Melissa through the curtains. Then it vanished, not into the fog, not stepping away. Just gone. Melissa stood trembling, unable to move, until dawn. Tuesday morning came sluggishly, the fog unchanged. David, checking their porch camera footage, felt his blood run cold. At exactly 3:33 a.m., the figure had appeared, standing perfectly still for exactly 6 minutes before turning its head toward the camera. The recording flickered once, and the figure vanished. He said nothing, protecting Melissa and their son from his rising dread. Mid-morning, David cautiously checked the neighbor's house. The door hung ajar. Inside, the dinner table remained half-set, food untouched. A fork lay on the ground as if dropped abruptly. Near the front door, jagged claw marks etched deeply into the wood. Not human, not animal. David found a phone on the kitchen counter, displaying a half-finished message. "Don't go outside at night, The message ended abruptly. He hurried home, locking the door firmly behind him. By evening, the silence felt deafening. The fog pressed inward, making their home feel impossibly small. Maple and Gunner lay huddled together, ears flattened. Then, at exactly 10:07 p.m., it began. From deep within the fog came a siren, slow, mournful, alien. It rose steadily in pitch, vibrating through walls, windows, bones. The dogs howled in anguish, then fell silent, shivering. Melissa clutched their son tightly, her eyes wide with terror. David braced against the front door, feeling its vibrations pulse into his skin. 42 seconds passed, and the siren ceased abruptly. plunging them back into an unbearable silence. In the quiet that followed, the child whispered softly, confused. "Was that the ice cream truck?" Nobody answered. The fog pressed closer, watching, waiting, filled with something unseen, ancient and hungry.